just watching the intro videos.
And we're live. Indeed, Trong.
Hey, your audio for some reason, both of you, it cuts out like every now and then. I don't know what that is.
That's
Technical
weird.
issues 10 seconds into the stream, Tim. Trong, do you hear me okay? Because I hear you okay.
I hear you okay, and I also hear Tim okay.
I think it might be something on your end, Tim.
Yeah, like I said, it's just every now and then. It just. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're
We have
live.
we have a
Hey!
wild Trong has appeared up that way.
Oh, look at that! Hey, everybody, how's everybody doing today? You can see we have another person with us. Hello, Trong.
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's safe during this pandemic.
Oh yes, we hope so too. Everybody's doing it. How you been, Trong? You been doing all right?
I've been alright, just drawing, cooking for the family, playing board games, teaching board games to my cousins when they come over. So it's like I'm at work still.
What
Like,
what have you been drawing recently? Do you have anything you can throw up on camera really quick?
yeah, so I've been working on building a tarot card set.
Okay.
This is one of the ones that I've been working on so far.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, Trong is a very good artist. He used to have a bunch of pictures hanging up on the wall down there at Meepleville, if you ever saw him. Does some other commission type work for people.
Oh yeah, there we go. And he will actually make your own, what an avatar or a D&D character, or what is it that you'll do for people, Trong?
Yeah, I design people's D&D characters. They provide me with all the information that, the character race, their class, weapons, their familiars, and I make them and I work directly with them for a small fee.
Of course, you got to do it for a small.
Time is money,
Yeah.
Trong, of course.
Well, that's
But
really good. Glad to see you. Glad you're safe. Glad the family's safe and all that kind of stuff. Be nice for all of us to get back up Meepleville and start that getting going, huh?
oh yeah, for sure.
Who all do we have joining us? I see Lorraine said hi. Nice to see her
Hi, Lorraine.
hanging out. I'm sure my parents are here somewhere, lurking.
Is your
Oh,
dad name is Wilhelm?
No, that's still me, Trong.
Okay.
oh, Aaron Overton joined us. Hello, Aaron. I see he's there too. Aaron got a what do you call it? Instant family. He married somebody and they had kids and he got a whole immediate family. Patty, hello, Patty, and Cheryl, Grant's mother, Darlene. Hello,
Darlene said
Darlene.
hi.
Yes, she did. Yes, a lot of people. Yeah, stop in and say hi to us. It's so nice to see everybody. We'll be talking again, of course, today about how we're moving forward with Meepleville and how we're getting back to normalcy and all that kind of stuff, and just to know what's going on with Tron, Grant, and myself as well. So it's all good for all of you who are here to stop in and say hi.
Have you guys been up to anything new, different?
Me?
Just in general. Trong, I
Yeah,
also like
well,
your coffee mug.
Oh, thank you.
what is that?
He has a Pokeball, and I have my little bearded cup that looks like me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm still just doing stuff around the house. Had a big plumbing issue today. Oh man, these people.
Oh,
It's tough, but yeah, doing that and working on the dice tower. Finally got in touch with the hotel to start taking care of that all accounting because they're getting back to work now.
Oh,
So
I'm sure.
it's just man, it's like that's been on hold forever. So
Yeah, hopefully, looking for next year that's gonna look better.
I hope so. I mean, it's March of next year, so it's quite a long ways away.
Yeah, we gotta.
But still, we got to make sure everybody's safe.
I recently did a couple of lifestyle changes, so I started that's why I have my coffee mug. I always drank coffee, but I never regularly drank coffee. So I've been trying to make coffee every morning and switch to that because I used to do energy drinks all the time. That stuff is just so expensive. So
You drink a lot of it. That's
So
for
yeah,
sure.
trying to switch to just pure coffee, and then I also recently bought a yoga mat. I was doing that working out stuff, but I was just so stiff all the time. My tall, lanky ass body. So got a yoga mat. I'm gonna start doing yoga every morning when I get up.
Oh, very good.
Three out of 4 days in, doing it.
Nice.
I applaud that.
Yeah.
Gotta
said
try
he
to do
wanted
something.
Aaron said he wanted to have his anniversary up there at Meepleville with New in June. Who knows if that'll happen or not, but the potential is there. It's a possibility. So we'll see, maybe. Well, that's good. Yoga, staying in shape. How about you, Trung? What have you been doing to stay in shape?
I've been working on my treadmill every day. I know Grant told me you shouldn't work out every day. You need your rest day, but I'm kind of just bored. So
A
I
little.
work out.
I'm sure running's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but I usually tend to give myself a break once my legs start to seize up.
Oh, right, right.
Other than that, I've been doing some gardening on my balcony. I have adopted a small white line Sphinx moth caterpillar. I'm just waiting for it to emerge from the cocoon.
To be clear, this caterpillar is going to turn into a moth, not a butterfly.
I thought it was going to turn into a moth until I was like, why is it burying itself? And then I was like, oh, it's gonna be a moth. So,
And what's its name?
oh, I don't want to name it because I might get attached to it, just in case it dies.
Well, Trung, I can promise you this: it's going to leave you.
Oh, just like everything. No, just kidding.
It will one day get up and say, "See ya, Trung," and fly away.
Well, if I love it enough, I love it enough to let it go, so it can be itself.
Okay, if you want to believe you're letting it go, go ahead. It's going on its own, Trung, just to let you know. We interrupted, Grant.
Oh,
Huh?
it's back on. I saw it. It's back on. It was briefly interrupted. It's back on.
Briefly interrupted.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I just don't know if everybody's just kind of like overloading the internet per se. Because again, I pay for pretty good internet, but just even when I'm here by myself trying to do stuff, we'll notice random drops and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
rough.
our
Same
ones
here.
of followers, not even our dozens or tens or hundreds, our millions of people watching the show are flooding the show, Grant.
It's just like the data usage has been so dramatically increased because everyone's staying at home and everyone's on the computer. Like my house alone, like there's at least 8 devices right now using Wi-Fi.
Oh, I'm sure.
Really?
Yeah, one of my roommates was like, "I want to start streaming now too," and I'm like, "Cool, like we can make that happen."
Yeah, and to be honest with you, you're absolutely right about that. I'm hoping to get out of it because I have never played more online video game. It's not even a video game. I just play Hearts. It's the only thing I play online. But man, I think I've played in the past 2 months more Hearts online or any game online than than I've ever had in my entire life. And I don't like it.
Oh
So
boy.
I'm hoping to get away from it. Spending too much time on the internet is just killing me.
I mean, what else is there to do?
That is true. That is true. But let's talk about some things. Let's talk about Meeple. What do you want to talk about? Meepleville first, Grant?
Yep. Let's jump into. Let me switch this over to what's going on. And yeah, so Aaron asked earlier, do they know when people are going to be able to return to Meepleville? So where are we looking at, Tim?
All right. Well, the truth of the matter is, we are going to be doing like a modified opening, and we'll go ahead and explain that. So officially on May 1st, we were allowed to do curbside pickup, and then a little bit later, right? Or I think it might even have been May 1st.
The 9th. The 9th is when the the restaurant stuff was open.
Okay, yes. And on the 9th, they allowed restaurants to be open. And what day of the week was the 9th? That was
Saturday.
A Saturday. Okay. So what we're doing is we technically have a restaurant license. Just so not technically, we do. Just so you guys know, we have 3 types of licenses. We have 3. We have our beer and wine license. We have our restaurant license. We also have a retail license. So we fall in that category of acting like a restaurant. So what we are going to be doing is opening the Meepleville restaurant. We are going to have our illustrious chef Trung come and help out for a little bit to cook some of his delicacies, make those delicious fraps and smoothies and some other Meepleville stuff. And we're going to plan on doing that next Wednesday, May 27th. That's the correct date, right?
Yep, a week from today.
A week from today. So we are also, with that being said, adding a new day to the Meepleville calendar starting next week. We will be open on Wednesday night as well from 4 to midnight. So our calendar for the future will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday from noon to 6, and on Wednesday from 4 to midnight. Now, and Trung and Grant, you guys please chime in any part of this if you like as well.
Mm-hmm.
On the Wednesdays, according to the restaurant guidelines, we have to be at 50% or less capacity. And we also have to maintain social distancing, all those kind of things. We've set up that in place. So as we did it, we have 9 tables and 3 booths available for people to sit in. So that's a total of 12 groups or tables to come in and eat. And while you're eating, you can go ahead and play some games as well. However, we are going to go ahead and make sure we have some very strict procedures and protocols in place to make sure that this is safe for everybody. So, Grant, you'd like to talk about this a little bit too?
Yeah, we're going to get into some of the ones that I remember. Tim will have an official kind of document written up on this before next week that we will post online, like our official guidelines. We were talking about even handing these guidelines out to people as they enter the store. So to make sure everybody's on the same kind of page for what we're doing, what we expect, and all of that. So anything we missed that just because we don't talk about it on stream, there might be some more. So feel free to check out that doc ahead of time.
Right, and I do have it right here, so I can go ahead and bring it up so to make sure we don't miss it all, make sure we get as much here as possible. So, number one, what we're going to do is make sure everybody must wear a mask when you enter Meepleville. There are some of the employees, myself included, who have who are at the high-risk categories and stuff like that, and also just to protect other people also. So we will require a mask when you enter Meepleville. Now, when you sit down, feel free to take it off and go ahead and enjoy yourself at your group, eat your food, play your game, talk to your people, whatever you want, that's fine. But when you get up, if you have to get up to go to the bathroom, you'd like to come up and make an order or do whatever, just put your mask back on, go do your thing, come back to your table, take it off. It's that simple. So entry requires a mask, and it may be removed once you get into your seat. Also, since we're only going to allow at this moment 4 people per table. Most of our tables are made for 4 with the 3x3s. We can expand some too. We do have some larger ones set up, so if your group prefers a larger table because you have a bigger game, you can do that as well. But 4 people per table. Now, very important about your groups coming in to eat and get a table at Meepleville. They must all come together. Okay, your entire group must come together. We can't have like one person come sit at a table, 20 minutes later somebody else come in, 20 minutes later things like that was how it used to be. That's normal. It cannot be like that, unfortunately. So if you're coming with a group, all of you must enter Meepleville together. So you can't even come in and say, "Oh, he's just down the road." No, wait outside until your whole group is there. Then you can all come in together to go to your table.
With the intent of that being, we would expect people that are already cohabitating together. We just have no way to verify that. So if you're coming with your own group, that's why we want you to be together in a group all at the same time. So we know that that's what you guys are planning on doing.
Correct. And that's why, like, if you're coming in together, we know you trust each other, however you live together, whatever. That's why when you're at your table, feel free to take your mask off, go ahead and do your thing. But when you get up and leave, just put your mask back on. Also, coming in at this moment, we are not going to allow cash payments. Now, I'm not going to say not allow because some people don't have credit cards. We understand that. So if you must pay by cash, we will take it. However, the first choice and the safest choice, the choice we would prefer, is contactless by credit card. We will either do our dip or tap, or we'll send you an invoice like we normally do too, to make sure that we can just try to eliminate contact, right?
Yep.
And you guys got to remember. Grant.
Oh, I was going to say, sticking with those safety procedures, another one that we are unfortunately going to have to enforce and be pretty strict on this is if you have any visible symptoms, we are going to ask you to leave. And that's just the nature of what this is. If you have a bad cough, if you're having trouble breathing, things like that, it's just not worth the risk. So, we want people to come by, but we want people staying safe is so much more important to us than a group showing up and playing a game for the night. Everybody wants to go do that, but we have to do this safely. So, any visible symptoms, we are going to turn those people away, and that's just going to be how it is for the immediate future.
Correct. That's either asking you to leave or denying entry if you show any of those signs. And again, that's just to try to keep everybody safe. But again, we hope that goes back on you, right? So please do not come if you feel
Yeah.
you are symptomatic at all.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we will make sure that so when you enter Meepleville, we're going to have sanitizer right there. So please just come in, make sure you sanitize your hands. We will also have sanitizer at each and every table. I just ordered some more. I'll be getting some more. We're trying to get, the wipes, all that kind of stuff. So also, not only when you leave your table, do you need to put on your mask, but when you leave your table, please sanitize your hands, because wherever you go, you may touch something. We'd like you to make sure that if you do touch it, whether it like you touch like the meeple by mistake, you just lean on it. Like people just touch things without really thinking. But
Right.
at least your hands have been cleaned and sanitized. Okay.
Really
We
quick.
have a question in the chat. Patty Privet asks reservations. Are we doing that?
And
Yes.
what I was just gonna say, Chong, anybody that is asking questions, if we're talking and we don't answer it, I'm taking down everybody's questions in like a little document, and we will circle back and answer anybody's questions if we happen to not address it. But yeah, guys, if you have questions, please keep them coming in chat. We will go back through anybody's questions, concerns, and all that as we're going through this list. But yeah, thanks for
Yes,
pointing
thank
that
you,
out.
Grant. Yes, and we will be doing reservations, but we will get into that in just a second. Okay, good. Hey, well, guess what? That means people are listening. that's good to know. Thank you, Pat, and whoever else is asking questions. That's really good. Now, also, so very important now, when you're coming in to eat, to enjoy your meal, and you want to sit and play a game as well, you can bring your own games. Normally, we do not allow that, because the truth of the matter is, we have over 2,000 games, so why would you want to, just play a game, one of ours? But secondly, we don't usually allow it, because when you walk out the door, we don't know whether it's yours or ours, right? But now we will allow you to bring your own games. And if you're hoping to play a game at Meepleville, the Meepleville employee must take it off the shelf. Now, you, the customers, and us as the employees both have to be very diligent about this, because all Meepleville games that are played will be quarantined for at least 48 hours. So that brings us to a couple of things, how we have to put this back on you and how you could help us too. Number one, you're not going to be able just to go to shelves, take out games, look at them. So when you come this time, come with an agenda. Come with like, I want to play that game. I'd like to play that game. Call us ahead of time or something. Like, come with an idea of how you'd like to spend your night.
And make that be more than one game. Since these games are going to go into quarantine, if a group plays a game earlier in the night, unfortunately, that's gone for the night then. So if the very first group plays Wingspan, Wingspan's gone for the night. We have no control over that. Again, it's not worth the risk. So try to have a couple of games in mind if you're trying to be playing our games, especially some of the bigger popular ones.
Correct. So again, like I said, putting it back on you guys, please make sure if you do take a game like Wingspan that you are going to play it. Like, because it happens all the time, because 4 months ago when life was normal, it didn't make a big deal. You would take a game, one of your group was like, I don't really like this. Okay, let's pack it up, put it away, let's try another one. We can't really do that now, right? So you have to be just a little bit more considerate of other people in the situation, that if you do take a game off the shelf, or we give you a game off the shelf, but you take a game to your table to play that is one of ours, just please be committed to playing it, because you are taking that from other people.
And like Chris just pointed out, yeah, plan on playing a game multiple times. Like really, really dig into a game. Obviously, that's not the most fun and what people want to do, and none of this is what people want to do, guys. So yeah, hopefully people can still find something enjoyable to come do and spend their time with down at Meepleville.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Also, just be aware, guys, unfortunately, we can't be friendly and teach games, come up and check on you all, now and then, see how you're doing, stand around and talk. We have to maintain social distancing. So if you're coming in hoping that it's going to be normal and, hey, Grant, come and teach us a game, show us how to, we can't do that now, okay? Because we're not going to be able to go sit at your table and talk to you and teach you and do all that kind of stuff. So that will not exist. So just please keep that in mind, that if you come in to play a game you haven't learned before, it can't be business as usual where you can expect us to be able to show you how to play.
And Alex had asked, just to dig into this a little bit deeper to make sure people understand where we're at with this, how are we cleaning the cardboard games? As far as the CDC recommends, as far as the information exists out there, the possibility for a contact transmission is fairly low with some items, but harder items like steel, your doorknobs, it could last for up to a week on there. Things like cardboard, the current scientific data says around 2 days. So again, our intent is that's why once somebody plays a game, it goes and sits somewhere that nobody touches it for at least 48 hours. And since we're only doing this on Wednesdays, more than likely these games are not going to be touched for more than a week in between. So hopefully the chance of that transmission at that point is zero.
Correct. And that's going to be at least at the beginning, at least for a week, because our first Wednesday, official Wednesday, will be a week from today that this will be available, and then the following week, and then we'll see how that goes if we need to add more days. But again, and I hope everybody can understand, nobody, and I've said this before, nobody wants Meepleville to open and get back to normal more than we do, right? I mean, Trung, Grant, and I, we're going to be the ones who are in there, especially, me, because it's literally money out of my pocket that I believe me, I want to get back to normal, but we are going on safety. Current restrictive pleasure for future greater gain. Also, for now, I think we've covered everything with that. Since we're doing that, let's just go over a couple of things, and we'll get into the question. Anybody have questions, Grant?
No, the other ones that had been asked was that cleaning, the reservations. You want to talk about what we're doing reservation-wise?
Yes. So reservations. When we decide to open, I don't think we've talked about that yet, Grant. We probably should have before.
by tomorrow. By tomorrow, whatever our official pricing is, and we're not going to say an official pricing right now, by tomorrow when we post that we're open, you will be able to request a reservation, say like, hey, we have a group of this many coming in, and we will send you an invoice ahead of time, and you're going to pay that. If you're making a reservation, you're going to pay for your spot ahead of time. We have such limited seating, we're not going to hold tables just on somebody's word. If you want us to hold the table, you're going to pay for it a week ahead of time or within that week. If we have all 12 people or 12 tables get reserved, within the first 2 days, we're going to post that. People will still be able to call. I highly recommend calling on that given Wednesday, and we can tell you exactly what our table count is, if we have space, what we expect for the night. Because again, once we hit that capacity, this doesn't mean money. We are turning people away. We will not allow more than the recommended number of people in that store. So the 12 tables fill up, that's it. We can have maybe one group looking through retail, everybody else will be outside. Somebody will be monitoring that door, and we're just not going to be able to allow anybody else in. So yeah, if you want a table, if you're going to be able to come, your group size, we will be able to send out a reservation and an invoice ahead of time. Otherwise, you're just going to have to call on that Wednesday, and we'll let you know if this ends up being busy or not. We have no idea how many people are going to turn out to this. We might fill all 12, we might fill 2. It's a really weird time right now. We don't know anymore. We've had plenty of people express interest in wanting to come out, but it's still a hard thing to do.
It is. But you know what? Since we did bring that up, we can go ahead and talk about pricing. This is a thing, again, that's something we don't want to do. We don't need to do. And as you know, we have maintained our pricing for quite a while now because, things were well and the community was great and things were going normal or things were going good. But again, life has changed. So the number one thing we have to say is as of June 1st, we will be canceling all memberships. So until we decide to open memberships again, everybody's membership will be canceled. We've been canceling them, or what have you been doing, man?
Just pushing them back. Yeah, delaying it for a month.
Pushing them back.
So yeah, we definitely won't be charging anybody first.
Correct. Yeah. So you will. If you thought you had a membership to Meepleville, you won't. Nobody will after June 1st. We will just cancel them all. There will be no more memberships. So memberships are going to the wayside temporarily. Trust me, they are not going away. We loved having members. We loved offering that to you. And it was great for a lot of you who were there a lot, right? Because you saved so much money. It was really good. Now, the one thing we do have to do, unfortunately, is raise our price slightly. So what we are going to do now, until we can start offering memberships, it's going to be $10 a person. Now, unfortunately, we do have to do that. I'm sure a lot of you have seen throughout the country that there have been restaurants, venues, and all this kind of stuff putting a COVID tax, right? All of a sudden they get their meal, their receipt from a meal or something, and they see a COVID tax. Now, people objected to that. They didn't like it because, first of all, they weren't informed of it, right? All of a sudden you get a bill. You're like, why am I paying this COVID tax? Nobody told me. Nobody knew it was about. For us, it's first of all, we're limited capacity. We're not full like we were doing with Meepleville before. We do have to pay for sanitizing, for hand sanitizer, for all these other things. The credit card and the contactless service, just that alone is about 3.5%. So 3.5 cents out of every dollar right off the top is just going away for processing fees because of, and it's more than that. And then shipping for games, everything has just changed and added a cost to everything to us. So because of that, it's just a slight increase, hopefully not for long, but for the time being, it'll be $10 a person.
There you go.
Yep.
All right. Now,
so when we do have that up, just like how people are ordering curbside games, if you do want to request a reservation, sales@meepleville.com will be the way to request that reservation slot, check on availability and all that. So sales@Meepleville is for both the reservations and for anything you want to pick up curbside.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, you know what? We've already talked about it. Grant just gave you the info. So as of right now, reservations are open for a week from today. So go ahead and do it. Sales@meepleville.com. However, please be aware that if you're going to reserve a table and pay for it, you're going to get charged for it, okay? And understand that you are blocking a spot. So you're going to pay for that table because you're going to have that spot, okay? So just be aware of that. So yeah, so right now, sales@meepleville.com if you'd like to go ahead and reserve a table for next Wednesday, one of the 12 spots available. Also, we also are going to have rules for retail. Now, if people just want to come in and look, and actually we can start this tomorrow because for the retail only. So moving forward, we can start tomorrow. I will be in there at noon. These are going to be the rules for retail. Again, you must wear a mask when you enter Meepleville. And you must keep it on the whole time because you will not be sitting down at a table. You'll just be browsing for the retail. As soon as you enter Meepleville, we have a big tub of sanitizer. You've seen it at a lot of places now. So please sanitize your hands once you walk in. Let your hands dry for a bit. And then if you think you're going to take games off the shelf, puzzles off the shelf to look at, feel free. However, we're going to have a box of those disposable, what do you call them?
Gloves.
Yeah,
they are disposable gloves, but they're not the latex ones. They're the really cheap like cafe prep type gloves.
Yes, I know they're called gloves, trust.
Almost plasticky. I don't know the correct name either. Yes, they're disposable gloves. They're not latex gloves. I don't think any like allergy concerns or anything like that. They're just the really cheap little thing, just so you can get something on everybody's hands, just to again be on the safe side.
Correct. So that's what we want to encourage you to take puzzles off the shelf, look at them, and you're just going to have gloves to cover yourself. And again, we are just doing this to be safe for you, for us, for everybody, and it's small, minor things. However, curbside is still there, and that's easy, as everybody's seen. You send us what you request. We send you an invoice. You pay contactless. You come up, drop it off contactless. It's easy. So you can still do that. That's always available. The contactless, right?
We're going with Kathleen's suggestion of safety gauntlets. They are now officially safety gauntlets. Everyone needs to wear their safety gauntlets when they're looking through retail.
A safety gauntlet? What's a safety gauntlet?
The gloves,
That's what we're calling them, Tim. That's what we're calling them.
The safety gauntlet. We'll call them safety gauntlets. Okay. But that's kind of a harsh term, isn't it, Kathleen? A safety gauntlet.
Tim, you literally showed me that like D&D doc, like the goofy, like all the adventures. Adventures wear gauntlets. Gauntlets are good. Yeah, +1 safety gauntlets, man.
I agree.
It's a good thing.
With safety gauntlet.
Yeah. So there you go. That's good. So the safety gauntlet, yes. And again, guys, it's just, be fun with it. Be light about it. Remember, we're a community. We're all in this together. We're all looking for safety. And again, we're just moving slowly because current restricted pleasure for future greater gain. It's going to be great when we get back to normalcy again.
Uh,
Also, go ahead, Grant.
uh, just to reiterate, if things change in Nevada restrictions, if things go backwards, this will go away. We don't want that, but just be aware, just because we're doing this now, this could easily change and go the backwards direction as well. Obviously, we'd like to continue moving forward and keep opening more stuff up along with the rest of Nevada, but we are 100% following along the governor's directives and trying to be even more strict off what they are offering. And if things get worse, we're going to pull it back again.
Correct, absolutely. And the last thing I just want to talk about the retail, and guys, sorry for being so restricted. Sorry, we had to add this in. But during the retail hours only, so Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday from 12 to 6, remember you're welcome to come in with a mask, sanitize your hands, put on the gloves if you want to look at games. Bathrooms will be unavailable, all right? Now, the reason is because there's only going to be one of us, me, I'm just going to be the one there, and I can't, leave, go sanitize bathrooms, watch the front, do all that kind of stuff. So it's just not feasible or practicable to do that. So you're welcome to come in, but unfortunately, bathrooms will not be available.
Quickly talking about sanitization, just to get back to when people are at tables, just like I think how the restaurants have right now, as soon as a group is done, every table will be disinfectant sprayed, table and chairs will be completely wiped down as those groups are leaving. That will, again, be something we would do immediately.
Yes.
As people are in there.
Absolutely.
Just absolutely. Like the restaurants, they do that as soon as you leave. They like, psh, 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 you know.
Yeah. We always were cleaning the tables before, but we're definitely going to be a little bit more diligent about the immediateness of it and getting some disinfectant spray going along with the standard cleaning that we would normally do.
Yes, absolutely. And again, folks, this is one of those kind of things, please, when you're in Meepleville, hopefully you'll come in, play some games. If you see we need to do something better, if you see we need to do something more, or we should, whatever, please do not hesitate to let us know, because we just want to make sure we're following proper procedures and protocols and making sure, again, that it's safe for us as well as everybody again.
Just catching some people up that just joined us. Derek, Wednesday will be 4 to 12 for food and board gamings. And Rick, same thing. Yeah, will food be available? Yes. Now, when it comes to food, and we will go over this with Trung probably doesn't even know yet, it is going to be a pared down menu. It will not be the full food menu that we had previously. There will be some items that just aren't feasible. We just don't have the reason to keep food in there as long. So it's going to be a little bit more of our easier to make type items. So don't expect the full menu to be up there, but we'll have as many food items as possible when you guys come in.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, please. I mean, nobody does really now anyway expect to come to Meepleville for a full course meal, right? But yes, it will be pared down. So. And
just looking ahead, today's top 3 list, top 3 dexterity games. If anybody notices, Trung is sitting there playing one currently. Yeah.
And he's no good at it because it just fell.
He built that up onto camera. It started off camera. You have no idea how tall that was, Tim. That could have been 10 stories. That's not what he was playing.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm listening, but I'm just trying. I'm doing something else while.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, you're not.
Yeah.
Nothing to jump in here. Good. We unfortunately didn't tell Trung any of this, and I just told him to join us. So.
I know. So anyway, guys, that's the news so far. Again, we were so excited to be getting the ball rolling again, and oh no, we got interrupted again. Oh, I think we're back. So.
Quick little hiccups.
Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead and start talking about some fun stuff, doing everything. We got everybody's questions answered. I think we talked about everything.
Really quick, does anybody in chat, now would be the time. Obviously, we will do posts on Facebook, and you guys can continue to message us on there. But while we are live, if you have questions regarding this, feel free to throw them in chat. While we move on to this next section of the live stream and we're talking about stuff, if questions come up or if new people join, we will circle back and continue to randomly answer people's questions. So if you have them, now's the time to ask, and we'll try to get back to them as quickly as we can.
Yep. So Patty asked, are we going to limit the hours for a reservation, or can you stay all evening? So again, with this relationship, right, between Meepleville and you, the customers coming in, it needs to be a symbiotic relationship. So the reason I'm saying that is it kind of needs to be on both sides. If you know you're coming at, like, say, 4, right when we open, and you know you have to get the kids back to bed at 8 o'clock, so you'll be at 7 or 7:30. So that way we can maybe let people who are waiting, who've called in, know that there'll be a spot opening. But no, there is going to be no requirement for a table. And the same thing when you're coming, right? If you reserve, let us know, hey, we want a table, but we won't be there till 7. And we'll hold it for you. But we'd like maybe people from 4 to 3 or something. I mean, from 4 to 7, those 3 hours, let them use that. Again, we're all learning this as we go. So again, let's just make sure we're all working together in this process.
Susie asked a really good question. We had a very active werewolf night on Wednesday. Right now, guys, there is still the social gathering of 10 or less is still in place. And obviously that doesn't really apply to the restaurant type style that we're doing. So we are not going to have an area for werewolf. We are not going to be doing that. Maybe in the future, if this goes well, we could set aside a 10 or less group of werewolf, like a moderator and 9 people all social distancing, not interacting outside of verbally. But that's just down the road. So right now, no, do not expect any werewolf type play. And kind of like how we were talking about coming in with a group of people all at the same time, you can't really switch and join other people's group. If you're sitting there playing and some other people come in, we really don't want you to go interact with a different group and kind of jump around. If somebody in your group has to leave and it's just you left, you're probably done for the night then. You can't really get up and go join somebody else.
And it's all for your guys' safety, too.
100%.
Yes. 100%.
Rick wants to reiterate the days and times. So starting tomorrow, the retail section will be open for people to come into retail in a limited fashion. 2 groups total in the store at any given time, Tim?
Correct. 1 per each side.
So
yes.
2 groups total. If we have 2 people in the store, Tim will kind of maybe put a little sign or something in the store that says it's full. So that's Thursday. So Thursday and Saturday of this week, retail will be open, noon to 6. Starting next week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the noon to 6 for retail only and curbside pickup. And then next Wednesday, from 4 to 12, we will have food and board games available.
Yes. And after tomorrow, because there are 4 things I have to do. It's Facebook, Yelp, Google, and the website. If anybody knows any others I need to change it on, let me know. But as of tomorrow, I will make sure all 4 of those do reflect our new hours.
Yeah.
And that should answer a Jacob question because he asked if is the information updated on the website.
Right.
So hopefully he heard that.
Yes, it will be. All righty, good. Well, there we go, folks. We are getting into action little by little.
Yep. All right, Tim, you had some things. Let's move on to a deeper look at some stuff. Let's move on over there.
All right.
I kind of slacked off this week. I didn't really prepare anything, Tim. So I think this is all you for the next couple of topics here. So
Okay.
we are starting with the Cheat 3 YouTube channel that you found.
Yeah, very good.
What's
And
this
you're
all
gonna be
about?
putting that up so people can see too.
Yep,
right?
yep, 100%.
Okay. So now, this is something I'm pretty excited about, and I was you ever find stuff that you think is really cool, and you're like, I don't know if I want to share this, right? This was kind of one of those things. Anyway, what this is a guy who makes these really cool Lego puzzle boxes. And you know the puzzle boxes, right? We have to push and twist and do all that kind of stuff. But he shows you how to make them. He does tutorials on here. So, just to let you know, the reason I was thinking maybe I shouldn't share this, because I thought it'd be kind of cool if we made them and just had them out so people can try, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like another thing. You're waiting for somebody to come in. Oh, here's a Lego puzzle, do it. But I'm like, I'm probably not going to do it anyway. But this is maybe something some of you may get into, and you can share it with us, and maybe you can bring them into Meepleville. But go check out some of these puzzles, watch the tutorials, watch how they're solved. They got little simple ones, like little 2x2 inch ones, up to really big, complicated ones. You could hide money in it. They're fantastic. It's really, really cool.
It's kind of funny, Tim. There's another YouTuber named Chris Ramsey, and he does the really expensive puzzle boxes. He'll get some like super unique ones, some like $1,000 ones, like the really intricate, and he does like a whole like, all right, this took me 45 minutes to figure out. I'm going to assume these Lego ones won't take quite that long to do. But the idea of puzzle boxes, yeah, I super like the little logical, how do I slide a certain piece in whatever direction, and little hidden levers and stuff like that.
Exactly. But the thing that I think this is more appealing is because this is more reachable. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but for all of us, because any of us can go to a toy store, pick up some Legos, buy some Legos, and we can make one of these little puzzle boxes ourselves. I think it's really, really cool. It's really neat.
I think that'd make a really cool gift idea. If you made somebody else a puzzle box, like that's time and effort. Anybody can get somebody a gift, but if you make somebody a gift, that's one of those like just classic. You made something for somebody. I think people would super appreciate that type of gift. Those would be amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so just go ahead to Cheat 3 on YouTube. Check it out. I think you guys would really, really like that.
Yeah, Tim just said Cheat 3. We are going to try to call out copyright stuff as much as possible. This is Cheat 3's YouTube channel. Go check him out. Subscribe to him. This is his content on the screen right now. Not ours.
Don't sue us. Don't sue us.
Yeah,
Sony.
so we don't get that letter like we got when Grant put up to Sir with Love. We got the what was it, not a cease and desist.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
From Sony. Yeah, Sony cares what Meepleville's YouTube channel is doing.
But it was so quick. That's the whole thing that surprised me.
Again,
Like,
it's
we
fully
shut down-
automated. Fully automated.
Right, but yeah, it was funny. All right, so next, do you have this up there, Grant? Can we just watch the whole video, the next thing?
Yes, same thing. Sure, it's about a 2-minute long video, and we can just kind of talk over it. So I'm going to get it started. What are we watching,
sure.
Tim? Let me.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this either, Trunk, so I think it'd be kind of cool for you to take a look at.
Okay.
So what we're looking at, of course, is an empty floor. This is a 42,000-piece puzzle. So notice how he's dumping all the pieces, right? And look at how, I just think it's fascinating how they're sorting it. I don't know what they're doing right now, all those little things. But now look, you can see the edges, right? Boom, they made the edges. Now look, it's by parts. So they're doing pieces, and notice how they're jumping all over the place, right? From left, right, center. And this is what I found so intriguing, because usually when I do a puzzle, I've never done this way before. You know, like I think it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I gotta assume that they were the easiest puzzle pieces to pick out. Like you saw him go through and sort them all into like little tub containers at the beginning, and because that's basically what he's doing is like, oh, this piece is 100% for the Empire State Building part, right? So he knows he can put all of those together. So I think he just went through, found certain colors, certain hues, and separated it that way, and then works on any individual little part. The other thing that I see him do, and I haven't seen him quite do it yet, he lines up the pieces like top to bottom in a nice row. Definitely when you start seeing him do the skyline, you'll see him do it a little bit more. And yeah, just a very unique way to do a puzzle, and this thing just turns into a ridiculous, ginormous thing here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The end dimensions end up being 24.5 feet by 5.5 feet, 5.2 feet. So yeah, very, very big. Here.
It is. Did they say the total time on this? I don't know if I...
But I just maximized the video, and then you want me to go look. I don't know. Does he say the time? Finished.
But yeah.
Sorting. It took him approximately 2 months to sort.
Ooh.
Approximately 9 months to assemble. Total time about 500 hours. Yeah, this is not your weekend type project here.
No.
That's a year commitment.
Look up top. See how they're kind of colors, right?
See this is the row thing. Yeah, he just sorted those by hues, and I was like, that's genius. Like, obviously he knows just hue-wise, it's such a big puzzle that, like, the hues are going to gradually change, so it's got to be really easy to put. And bam, there it is on my screen, not up for you guys yet. That is that finished puzzle. So yeah, very cool. If anybody doesn't know, we've started selling a ton of jigsaw puzzles. They've been very popular. We just got new ones in yesterday. So yeah, we thought people would enjoy seeing something like this being done. You want your long-term stuck inside quarantine plan, here you go. Big puzzle.
People would be like, wow, the quarantine's over? I was so busy. Kind of like, this is a true story. I forgot what island it was in the Pacific, but from World War II, there was a Japanese soldier, I think 1971 or 72 or something, he finally surrendered. Have you heard about that?
I don't. I'm such bad with
It
history.
was like
Same.
like 26 years or something. He thought the war was still going on, and he wouldn't surrender until his former captain or whatever it was came to the island and told him to. For like 26 years, he's hiding out in the jungle, and he was terrorizing the villages for that. Anyway, so yeah. I'd be like this too. You'd get over. You'd be like, "What? Quarantine was over?"
Like, oh crap! I could have left months ago.
Yeah. All right. So what do we have next here?
And
Next, this is actually pretty cool.
yeah,
And
last week we mentioned how Dice Tower East this year was being canceled. So
correct.
this week, let's have some better stuff to talk about. Dice Tower related. What are they doing, Tim?
That's right. I don't know if anybody saw it. It was on Monday night. We're going to put the link up here for you. You can go ahead and watch the video. The Dice Tower, which is Tom and the boys there, and Board Game Geek, which is Aldi, Scott Alden, are doing a virtual con together in June. I believe the dates are like the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, somewhere around there. But it's a virtual 2-day con. I don't think they've actually ironed out the details as of yet, but with the Dice Tower and the Board Game Geek, it's going to be fantastic, right?
Yeah, all the same social distancing stuff that we currently have talked about and are doing. Zoom, Discord, Skype, Tabletopia, Tabletop Simulator. You get all those stuff together, you get a big people wanting to all do the same thing. They'll organize it. It's going to be all that same style of stuff, so that'll be a really fun way to meet some new people that are also doing the same thing as everybody else, trying to play these games in quarantine. Will be fantastic.
Yes. So again, I can't give you much information because I just don't know any information right now. But there are the resources right there. You can go watch the video, go watch the link. And again, they're sorting this out as they go along because they just announced it. But it'll be really cool, something for us to do. Oh, also Gen Con, right? Did you hear about that?
I didn't. Did they finally cancel that one?
They did finally cancel. Yes.
Again, that's just too big. It's just too big. I'm sure they were hoping for better news, and it's not coming, unfortunately. So that's the correct call for them to make for this year.
Yeah. Yep. Really would. So.
And yeah, this Dice Tower, it's 5 days, end of June, 24th to the 28th.
What does that mean? Chris had to bring his commander out of retirement to release him?
The guy you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, Aldi?
No, Tim. Last topic. The Japanese guy.
Oh, that. Oh, yes. I got old timers.
Yeah, we're a little delayed here. Somebody will say something not quite as snappy.
No. But Chris, see, he knows what I'm talking about. Then let me tell you, I watched. It's fascinating because he actually had. There were 3 of them, I think, initially for X amount of years. One, I don't know, died. One kind of said, "You know what, guys, I'm leaving." He got out, I think it was, and then this one guy. So yeah, so Chris knows about it. It's fascinating. You guys should check that out anyway. All
right. And that's kind of it. Like I said, I didn't play anything this week. That's my bad. Quarantine sucks. I don't feel like doing anything.
Did you play a game this week, Trung?
Play what?
A game.
Mostly video games, but that was about it, and just video games.
All right, Trunk. I need an answer. Are you any good?
Oh yes, Tim. I'm good at video games.
Are you? Grant, yes. Can you verify that?
Oh, absolutely.
Taking you down.
Absolutely. At it? Me and Trunk, we banged that out together, man.
Yeah.
If anybody,
all sorts of big. We play together, Tim. We're not playing against each other. A lot of the stuff that me and Chung play, we're playing together. So yeah, of course we're the best. We're amazing.
If anybody want to play Monster Hunter, let us know.
I know I already told you this, Tim, but we were talking about the crew last week, and me and my roommates have officially beat all 50 levels that come in the game, just because we played it way too much. But still a very good game. Still highly recommend that one.
Let me tell you, folks, we talk about the crew a lot on here because it's a fantastic game. We've got plenty of them for sale. I'm not saying I recommend you buy it. I'm telling you to buy it. You're going to love it. You want that game. But what Grant did, we got interrupted. Are we going to come back? This one seems to be stuck right now.
That might be on. Oh.
It's back on.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we'll get small little hiccups here and there.
Yeah, what he did, he had the same 2 other people, so the group of 3, but they finished all 50 missions. That is just huge. That's really cool. Congratulations.
And there's definitely some tough one in there. And again, you're still playing a card game, so even on a really hard mission, if you get a lucky good deal, you're going to beat it and move on. So did we get some free passes on some hard missions? Sure. We're going to take those, though. A win's a win in our book. So we definitely, didn't cheat. We played by the rules. If somebody messed up something, we're like, nope, sorry, redeal it. But yeah, it was definitely a fun experience to go through. Greatly enjoyed.
Yeah. Very cool. I played what did I play this week with my wife? Jiper. Oh, you know the funny thing about it? She actually asked me the other day. I'm sitting there. She's like, "Hey, you want to play a game?" I'm like, "Who are you? Where's my wife?"
Quarantine makes people do crazy things.
Literally, outside of the crew, I haven't touched any board games. Like, it's been like 5 weeks now or something. We have them sitting there, and I'll set something up, but just like between me and my roommates, usually somebody's too grumpy. It's more often than not me, and every once in a while one of the other roommates that's just like, nope, not in the mood, not gonna happen. And yeah, we're just having a hard time like getting everybody really enthusiastic about wanting to sit down and do that because we just sit here with each other all day long anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, coming back to what board game I play, 2 weeks ago, I played Taco Goat Cat Cheese Pizza with
Taco Cat Goat
my
Cheese Pizza.
yeah, that car where you slap people.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
That's why you. That's the only reason you play it, Trung, right? Just to slap you.
No, because
Also a
it's like
dexterity game. I don't think it
And-
made anybody's list. Spoilers.
No, I don't think so. I completely forgot. All the days are merging into one for me. So I played that. They had a lot of fun with it. I played Potion Explosion with Jeff a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I love that game. It's not a dexterity game, but would you consider it a dexterity game or
Yeah,
like
you don't really have control of where the marbles go. You're just supposed to throw them in top, so not really. There is some
Okay.
fun little marbles rolling around there.
Yeah, I love that game, and so does he. Other than that, I play a little bit of Sheriff of Nottingham as well.
I'm still waiting to see
I
what
love-
they do with the second edition of that's supposed to come out. They're supposed to add in some of the expansion stuff and fix the game a little bit. I'm excited for that
Oh.
one. Yeah.
I didn't know they were coming out one.
Yep, second
Okay.
edition. I don't know a timeline on that, but
Yeah, the game I played with my wife was Jiper. Now, Grant, you know Jiper
yeah, very
pretty
well.
well, right? And I'm sure a lot of people out there too. So maybe you can help me because I'm thinking, oh my God, have I been teaching this wrong the whole time?
Hit me, Tim.
I don't know if they changed it. What's that?
Hit me. I know it very well.
Okay. So
I
in
know.
the new version, at least, when you set up the original 5, and I teach this a lot too. Maybe you have to put out 3 camels.
3 camels, 100%. Yeah, you go through the deck. You have to find 3 camels every time.
Oh, then I.
Never. A lot of people do miss that they'll just throw up a random market row. Yeah, even in the
Yeah.
older version, yeah, you set up 3 camels there to start. That helps to balance the back and forth of the initial thing.
Of course it does. It makes a huge difference. I've been playing
Yeah.
it wrong this whole time.
There's so many easy little rules that
Yeah.
we play too many games. It's just like you probably read it once and you did it right the first time, and then the next time you play, it's just not that important enough of a rule, and you didn't go reread the rule book when you went to teach it, and then you just get in that habit of like, I know this game and it plays out like this.
Yep. Yeah.
So very understandable with that one. I see that one missed a lot.
Yeah. I was shocked. I
Does-
was like, I hope,
Ooh.
but I guess I have them.
Here's a new question for you because I don't know. I haven't seen. Does the new version still have a dead panda on one of the camels?
What?
In the old version, one camel has a dead panda hanging off its little side in its knapsack. Only one of them.
Really?
And it's dead because it has X's in its eyes. You can't tell me it's not. If anybody didn't know that,
I haven't read.
you have to look really close on every single camel card.
I did not know
In the
that, no.
original version, yeah, there's a single camel that's a dead panda. Poor
I don't
thing.
think so.
Easter egg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've changed the art, so.
I don't know why it was there in the original, like what purpose it served. It was a very strange little addition to the art.
Wow. Now
But
you're gonna keep me up all night.
I'm sure I could find a picture of it here.
I do not see a dead camel.
Dead panda.
Dead panda.
I don't see that either. All right, so we are going to talk about
All right,
games.
right here, Tim.
this
I'm,
week.
really quick, I'm throwing up the picture on screen. You'll see it here in a second if you watch the live stream. This is very sadly a dead panda on a camel in Jaipur. You'll have to check to see if the new edition has this hidden in somewhere.
Oh, this game. Okay.
I'm putting it in a stupid place. Sorry. There you go, Tim. Now you should be able to see it a little bit better. It'll update. It's not dead. It's
Wait.
drunk. Okay, okay, Darlene. I'll give you. It might be drunk.
Wait, click it to expand it, Grant, so I can see a little bit more. Oh,
I can't.
oh, it's not dead. It's drunk.
All I'm saying is there's X's in the eyes.
Wishful
Oh, but,
thinking.
oh, wait a second. But okay, Darlene, do you know that for sure? See,
No, I
Chad.
think she's just making a joke. It looks like Chris might actually know what it's from.
It looks really dead.
Yeah, but
Like,
listen. Okay, Chad's a detective, so if he says it's dead, it's dead. He knows.
Chris is saying that he thinks the Dead Panda is a little callback to that publisher's game losing Zularetto for Spiel des Jahres. That would be an
Oh,
interesting little Easter egg. I like little Easter eggs in
uh,
stuff. Again, I don't think that's
wow.
super offensive, but yeah, that was in the original one.
Okay, hey, listen. For all you people who are out there, listen. We got a lot. You're great. Anybody who's joining us is great. We love you. Thank you. Let's do this as a fun thing for next week. Oh. Speaking of that, we got a cool little segue, right? Because next week, actually, we will be streaming live from hopefully an active Meepleville. So
And when we say stream, it will not look like this. I'm not going to have all these fancy graphics. It's going to be a single camera, just kind of showing people sitting there playing at Meepleville. And me and Tim will occasionally stop in and say hi. Random guests might walk by with their masks on and say something nice. We'll let people know that they're live on there. And we'll keep it up for an
correct.
hour or two, depending on. So for anybody that can't make it out next Wednesday or wants to see how busy it is or the type of things that we have going on, that'll be what you can check out next week.
Yep, and I'll walk around with the laptop too, the camera to show everybody. However, what I was trying to get to is we'd like your participation more in the show, so let's have that next week as a user contributed content. Send us Easter eggs. If you guys know Easter eggs in other games, please send us some pics. It'd be kind of cool because this is neat. I never noticed this.
I usually tell people that whoever has the dead panda gets to go first. If they're like, if you have, everybody look at your camels. There you go. All right, are you guys ready to jump into our top three list?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Trung, what is our top three list this week?
Dexterity games, my favorite.
Dexterity games. All right, let me hit our little segue button, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, and we are back.
So now, Trung, you did say these are your favorite. Is it because you really, really like them, or you do not like Euro games, or how come these are your favorite?
I like dexterity game because I have kind of a short attention span if there's too much strategy going on without me involving some sort of motor skills. So dexterity game for me keeps me in the game. I don't really like the one where you have to like kind of wait for other people to make their turns and all of that. I need to be constantly doing something, or else my
Okay.
attention will just. That's why I like dexterity game. Also, it's just easier to teach it to people that might not speak English, so mostly my family. So these are like games that I can actually teach them, you know,
That makes
and
sense.
they'll understand the concept of it, and it's easier for them to pick it up or just people. I also feel like because Grant, you know most of like the heavier games. Sometimes there's people like me that might not know a lot about board game, and these are nice interesting one aside from the typical Monopoly or Sorry, because that's why I mostly like dexterity game because they're easy to pick up and they're fun.
All
Oh,
right.
good. Now, let me ask you the second question, like I asked you before about video games. Are you good at them?
It depends.
You've
How
already
long
seen him
my
knock
game
over the
is.
tower, Tim. Come on. Give the guy a break.
I don't know how many
If
times
he
in
was
Zero
good,
Suit 5
all
I
three of his games would be like on camera, stacked up, blocking his face. I don't
That's
see him.
true. That's true. Yeah, that is true.
The Catch the Moon one, I actually finished it. It's on the side right now. All the ladders are up and they have not fallen down. So
All right,
Yeah.
good.
Chung, why don't you lead us off? What is your number three?
Let's see.
I can tell you if you don't know. It's the table is lava.
That is true. I actually have it right here with me too. The table is lava. So this is a dexterity game where you pretty much you toss cards into the center and you form little islands, and each card it tells you how many meeple you get to score. Your objective is to have more of your people on these little card islands than your other adversary, and you can also knock people off. I found this game in I want to say MeepleCon 2018. Yeah, I was walking by and some lady was like, "This is a dexterity game," and I was like, "Hold up, Yuri got me with this." Like, let me hear the rules, and then I sat down and I played with her, and I won, and then I was just like, "How much is it?" And she was just like, "Oh, it's like 15." And I was like, "Get out!" So I got a copy, and then I also got the expansion that came with it, the coconut ones, so that it adds a fifth player, so more fun.
And just so people know, thematically, the table is lava. Whatever playing surface you're playing on, that is the lava. The cards are all the safe islands. If you fall off a card, if your meeple ends up on the table, that's the lava. That meeple's removed. That's why it's happening, which is amazing. So I think that's a great little theme there, along with the dexterity challenge.
All right, and then Trung, so the people you've taught this to, do they like it? They have fun with it?
They have fun with it. I taught it. Let's see. The week that you guys went to Meepleville, a group of younger, I won't say kids, adults came in, and I taught this to them, and they played it several times, and they had a lot of fun with it because they weren't really huge on like board games. So like I was going back to like anything that's easy to pick up, that's something out of the ordinary. They really enjoyed it,
Right.
and most of the time people can pick these up easily because at a very affordable price, and it's easy to teach too. So. Easy setup, everything. It's really a good game. I recommend it.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Jumping into my number 3, I'm going to start us right off with Tim hating me out of the gate. We briefly talked about this before we got onto stream. When it comes to dexterity games, I wasn't necessarily talking about dexterity board games. We are a board game store, but the dexterity games that I actually prefer and do play usually aren't the board game variety. So my number 3 is darts. That is literally one you mentioned, Tim. 100%. I own a dartboard. I bought some really nice set of darts. I'm terrible at this game. So yeah, before you ask the Trung question of are you good at this, no, I'm very, very bad at it. But it's super fun to do. Just literally anytime I have, my mom had found me a really nice board that has like the nice little wooden part that like you can open it up and like close the doors on it. So it looks like a nice little like wall hanging. And I've now just destroyed that wall with little holes because we miss a lot. Yeah, we know. Growing up, we had like an electronic dartboard there for a while. Like my mom really likes playing darts too. This was just something I did growing up numerous times, and I still now have one today. Pool billiards is another one on my short list. It didn't actually make my list, but I do also have a pool table in my house that gets used for exclusively board games at this point. Which is why it's not my number 3, but darts, I really enjoy playing darts.
So when I was living over in England, and I think for quite a few other countries,
over there.
It is huge.
Yeah.
They fill like 5,000 people, theaters, people watching this, and you should hear the guy 140.
Oh,
they
yeah.
make these announcements. It's so funny, but
The ridiculous triple 20, 180, 14. You're like, okay, cool, you did that.
I know they're amazing what they do.
Definitely not. I 100% play it for fun. That type of stuff.
Yes.
I
So my
never
number-
play darts. It's people feel uncomfortable with me throwing sharp things around. So
Have you ever heard of jarts, Trung?
no, do you throw jars?
No, jarts. Jarts are lawn darts.
Oh.
Imagine playing. Yeah, they have these big spikes you throw like about 50 feet.
Oh, those.
Yeah, those things are massive. I never played with those.
Those look even more dangerous than the little ones.
100%. You can murder somebody with those.
You could.
Yes, you could.
All right.
All right, Tim, back in the realm of board game dexterity. What's your number 3?
Okay, so Carmen, she knew that Trung was going to pick tables lava.
I knew most of Trung's list before we started. I was like, yeah, I know Trung's going there.
Yeah. All right, so my number 3, the reason I love this so much is because it has the combination of I like teaching it to people, showing it to people, I think it's quick and fun, is Rhino Hero. Rhino Hero, for all of you who don't know that, Trung has been playing it the whole show. It is a perfect cross between Jenga and Uno, right? And I like how you have to get the little Rhino Hero and move him up and place the cards strategically. It's just a fun, simple, quick game along those genres. As you can see, Trung has his there. And for those of you who don't know, if you ask, you can come and play our Jumbo one. Now, when I say jumbo, the cards are what, about a foot wide?
Yeah. I can't
The
do this on
size of
camera.
a folder. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
if
you
it
have
ever
to
worked.
stack the floor. And I tell people, I'm like, I didn't tell you this. Don't let me see you. But you have to get on chairs. The tower gets so tall, it's massive.
And really quick, Tim, I'm going to unveil this so Trung can jump in here as well. This is number 2 on Trung's list. So,
Yes.
Trung, what do you want to add about the Rhino Hero?
Um, I remember the first time Tim got this game, and he was like, "Trung, you're gonna love this game." And then I was like, "Why? Is it because it's a child's game?" And then I was like, "You know me so well, Tim." But yeah, no, this was my number 2 because, as Tim said, it's so easy, it's so fun. Anyone can pick it up, and if they enjoy the small one, they're gonna absolutely love the giant one. I have played that every time with my art group that I used to meet there, and we would have to stand on chair, and it would just get so high up. But
Yeah.
and it's such an affordable price, which is what I love. I love like the small little simple game that doesn't cost an arm or a leg, you know?
So,
Yes, and not only that, like you say, because you can travel with it, right, Trunk? Stick it in
Yeah,
the backpack, on your
exactly.
carry-on in the
It's
airplane,
small,
put it
so
in your
you
glove
can just take
compartment.
it
Yep,
anywhere.
yep,
Easy setup too, and very few pieces.
that's true.
so
That's
my
true.
my favorite thing about Rhino Hero, if anybody remembers what Angry Birds are, Angry Birds is a little app game. Birds are in these little house structures, and pigs got flung at the structure to knock it down and kill all the birds inside. So
Reverse first.
pigs are inside, birds are flying. You're right.
Yes.
The birds are the angry flying thing. You're correct. So I do my version of Angry Birds. I'll stand on the other side of the room and I'll take the little Fun Farm squishy farm animals, like the chicken, and I'll throw the chicken at people's Rhino Heroes Tower. Not trying to actually knock it over, but I hope they get the joke, which they never do. They just get really mad at me.
Angry Birds, wow. That was like a 2010, 2008 thing.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna skip my number 2 because it's the same as somebody else's number 1. Tim, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Clask. Now, for all of you who may not know what this is basically air hockey, the board game. And the name Clask comes from the sound when your little thing goes into the hole. It sounds like Clask. Speaking of that, just getting off subject really quick. Trung, what does a chicken say in Vietnamese?
I don't know. I never seen a live chicken. They're usually hung upside down and headless.
No, the reason I'm asking is because, like, the sounds, right? Like I said, the name sound for this game. Isn't it
Right.
funny how, like, in different languages, like, a chicken says or a rooster says cock-a-doodle-doo in English, right? But in Spanish, they say kikiriki or whatever. And
Oh,
in French,
okay.
And in French, they say. So I just always thought that was so funny how in different languages, and
The onomatopoeia in a different language.
Yeah, animals make different noise. I think for us is raw, like raw, something like that.
oh, okay, yeah. Anyway,
Are
but
you
anyway,
saying
that-
cows don't moo in every language?
They do not.
They're doing it wrong.
What is it in French? It's like, come on, somebody out there has got to know some other language. But no, it's achoo or something like in French. I'm telling you, French
Achoo.
or something. French cows are weird. I don't know. It's they're different. Anyway, but Clask, yeah. So it's like air hockey, the board game. You each have your things you're controlling under the board. You're trying to score a game into the little hole, and you can score one of 4 ways. Your ball either goes into the hole. If your thing goes into the hole, then the other person scores a point. If you lose control of your little thing, like if it goes on the other side, you can't control it anymore, the other person scores a point. Or they got those 3 little white things you see in the middle of the board. If 2 of those get stuck to you because they're magnetic, the other person scores a point too. So it's just a cool, fun, little crazy, silly, thrown around game. I think it's fantastic.
And I've actually never played this one. I know we've had it at Meepleville, like multiple copies, and I've never actually sat down to play it. I've had people come in and ask for it, but never tried it
yes.
myself.
Was
I was
that game in the abstract room, Tim, at any point? Or
Absolutely, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I remember seeing it, but I never played it either.
The Vietnamese chicken sounds like Lady Gaga chicken.
I don't know what that means, Carmen.
Yeah, I got the reference. But yeah, no, that's
I don't get it. What is it?
one of Lady Gaga's song is her repeatedly saying like rah rah.
Oh,
Bad Romance. That was the song. But
bad romance. Oh, there you
yep,
go.
there you go.
That's what she's doing. She's acting like a chicken in Vietnamese. Thank you, Carmen. See,
Thank
you learned a
you.
little something watching the Meepleville live show.
I'm gonna jump up here. All right, Trung, what is your number one on this list?
My number one is Catch the Moon, which is I have it right here, and Grant can put it up there. But that is my number one dexterity game. For mostly I love the artwork. It's so soft and calming, and that's the whole reason why I bought the game at first, because I'm a sucker for product design. um, but when I got the game and actually started playing it, I realized it is anything but soothing and calming. It is like so you roll a dice and you have a whole stack of ladders in various shapes. And then you pretty much, once you roll the dice, it'll tell you one ladder, two ladder, or it has the moon symbol. The one ladder is you have to take one of the ladder from any of the pile, and you have to stack it so it only touches one other ladder on the cloud stand. And if it's two, you can touch two, and if it's the moon, you have to make it the highest point. Here, I can show you real quick if I can just move my camera. Um, so, can you guys see that?
See, there you
So,
go, Tim. Look at Trunk's skills.
So that is all the ladders in the box that I have perfectly stacked up. You here, see, empty. See, Tim, I can do things.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Very
and
good.
I introduced this game to. I think I actually taught this game before on a Wednesday night at Meepleville, while people were waiting to play Werewolf that day, and a lot of people like it. It's fun and it's intense. So, pretty much you lose the game by obviously knocking the tower over, and then you get a teardrop, which is one of these little things right here, and that just means you made the moon cry. And you should feel bad, and you just got yourself a penalty point. But yeah, so that this is my number one because it requires a lot of, I would say, it requires skills and luck base as well. So that is why I chose as number one.
Yeah, that little bit
Because
of extra dice roll. This one I do also really like. This one almost went on my list somewhere. I knew you were already going to talk about it, which is why I kind of left it off. But out of the actual board game dexterity games, I do really like that one.
Yeah, and it's so again, it's one of those kind of games I teach a lot of people at first because it's easy to pick up, right? You
Mhm.
just roll the die, you do what it says. They're used to doing it, they like it. Not a lot of thinking. You could be a little tipsy if they're having a wine or something like that. So yeah, I enjoy sharing Catch the Moon with people.
And if you guys are interested in learning more about it, Meepleville YouTube also has a tutorial video that Tim did as well, posted on the account.
Oh, I forgot about that. Thanks for the plug, Tron.
Mhm.
Yes, that's right. I did do a little tutorial.
I went
Like,
back
I
and
did
I watched
that.
all the video. I went back and watched all the videos yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, look, we got a tutorial now." People,
Oh yes, that's
There you
right. And
go.
listen, thank you for saying that, Trung, because I just want to kind of throw in another plug. Again, folks, one of the ways you can really help us, we had mentioned this before, is by making sure you like us on Facebook, you follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All those little things like that just can really do help. So yeah, please go ahead and do that if you can.
So jumping back into this, my number two and Tim's number one are the same here, and that is a game called Crokinole.
Is it croak or croc?
I don't know, man. I'm bad at words. You say it however you want. Crokinole.
Yeah.
It's this game with a little circle. I'm sure a ton of people have probably seen this at Meepleville and had no idea what the hell it was. Like this is. Do you know when this game was invented? How long it's been around, Tim?
I do not.
Why don't you talk about it for a little bit, and I will find out.
Absolutely. So this is very similar to a horizontal, I guess would be the term, form of darts, because you're trying to do the same thing in essence, where the center is a bullseye, which gets you 20 points. You're trying to sink your little checker into the center. And then they got rings of 15, 10, and 5 points. However, the really cool thing about this, if any of you have played like Flick 'em Up, or what are some of those other games, Grant?
Ooh, we're flicking little things. I don't know. Like I had a
Yeah.
really hard time with dexterity stuff. I played so many different ones. I couldn't think of any other like slidey ones.
Right. But anyway, what you're trying to do is you flick your checker, and if there is another piece of an opponent, or if there's an opponent's piece on the board, or any of an opponent's piece, when it's your turn, and you flick, you must touch any one of their pieces. If you don't, your checker comes off the board. So it's really kind of cool how you're forced to have to touch another person's checker when they're on the board. If you ever go and watch like the World Championships of Crokinole, they almost never get to that point. Somebody shoots into the center, take it off. Next person shoots into the center, take it off. So it's they're so good you don't get like the mess like when I play.
Yeah. And I like the mess. I definitely prefer the non-professional. Same with like darts. If you're just gonna perfect throw it every time, like yeah, you're really good. That's not fun anymore.
Right.
But yeah, just I like that how you're describing like the pieces and stuff. You can play both offensively and defensively, and you kind of have to. So like like, oh, I need to shoot this shot so my piece ends up in an area where my opponent isn't going to be able to have easy access to it. It's kind of hard to see in the little pictures that I put up. But there's these little nubs around the center ring that will kind of deflect your piece that you have to be able to shoot through. So yeah, just a very cool game. I didn't really even know about this, I think, before Meepleville. I don't think I'd really seen a Crokinole board in a store anywhere or knew anything about it.
Have you played Crokinole Trunk at Meepleville?
A couple of times, yeah.
I'm sure I made him at least one day when I was bored, like, Trunk, come do something with me.
It looks very similar to curling. That thing with the mop.
Yep, they mentioned that in the wiki article that it's similar to curling, yeah.
Yeah, the thing with the mop and the ice rink and yeah.
The very first Crokinole board was made up in Canada in 1876.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Says the internet, which is basically everything's true there, so.
Of course it is. And then Mike wanted to know if anybody plays 4-person chess at Meepleville. We do have a board. I don't know if it's complete. I know we have at least one. We may have 2.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody attempt to play it.
I have. I've seen a couple. We've tried to pull it out because I don't know if we have all the pieces there. And I know sometimes we scavenge pieces from other games so they could play. But we definitely do have a 4. And I think there's like a 3-person chess. We have quite a few different variations of chess at Meepleville.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Paul just joined us. Hello, Paul. How are you tonight? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Say hi to Teresa if she's there with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then last up on my list, and again, let's hear your guys' thoughts. Tim says I can't put this on a dexterity games list. I highly disagree. My number 1 dexterity game, my top number 1, is bowling. I know my parents are watching. I grew up bowling. This is a pure dexterity game. You can call it a sport and that it shouldn't qualify, but even how like Crokinole, like you said, it's horizontal darts. These are all just different takes on this. So is this a little bit more popular into the sport category than our board games are? Sure. I don't think the distinction needs to be there. I love bowling. I bowled since the age of like 3 or 4 in league. If anybody ever has gone to like a bowling league where you're going every week, I bowled in league from the time I was 3 or 4 up until the time I was like 24 or 25. So like 20 solid years of nonstop bowling in league. Never quite got super good, like professional level, but I was definitely up there type thing. I still have my ball. I maybe go once or twice a year now. Something I would like to do more, and I just haven't. But yeah, absolutely love bowling.
Well, no. Let me just make sure I kind of defend myself there. That I wasn't saying it didn't belong in the list. I was just saying kind of for these purposes. I didn't like darts. We don't have at Meepleville, or people don't play bowling. We don't have. I was kind of talking about games we have, or people that are that we could talk about that they can maybe try at Meepleville when they come in and play.
That's not how a top 5 list works. This isn't like, oh, come play our thing. I didn't know how to do Meepleville top 5 dexterity games. I'm doing my own personal. These 3 games are all games. If somebody was ever like, hey, would you like to play? And they say one of these 3 games, I'm going to be a resounding yes. Again, everybody that says I don't like games, that I hate games, there's plenty of things that I absolutely love to play. Bowling would be under my love category. I rarely get to do it. Not the handful of people that I do know that want to go, again, just want to like drink and go bowling and throw a thing around and not be very good at it, which is perfectly fine to do. I'll go hang out with those people and I'll play my super fancy version while they just chuck balls into the gutter, and that's okay because it's fun for everybody.
Right. Darlene mentions Flying Goblin. That's the new yellow game, and
I forgot about that one. Yes. I want to play Flying Goblins more. It came out right there, like I hadn't seen it until Dice Tower West. And we saw it at Gamma a little bit. I still haven't had a chance to play it. Where's our copy of it? Why haven't we gotten that in yet?
That's a good question.
Yell at somebody that knows something about that, Tim.
I know, I should.
And I
Dr.
agree, Chris.
Eureka.
We should get a bowling lane in Meepleville.
Yeah,
You should
Dr.
do a Kickstarter, Tim, for a bowling lane.
There we go. We can do that.
I don't. Dr. Eureka from Paul is another one. I don't think I've played that as a dexterity game. I don't know that one.
I never either.
That's what the test tubes, right? And the little marbles in the test tube. I thought, yeah, I know I might actually have been Paul who showed me. I don't remember though, but yeah. But we do have that. We have that in Meepleville too. So.
Yeah, I've seen it. Never played it. That's cool.
And the thing, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like Chris mentioned that for some reason he's pretty good at it. Chris, when this is all done, as soon as those bowling alleys get open, man, let's go bowling. I was trying to get Randall jumps in our chat here every once in a while. He was somebody that I was trying to talk to, and I was just so busy before all this quarantine stuff happened that I never really got around to it. But if anybody would ever like to go bowling with me, I would love to go more.
And you know, the thing about bowling, I guess, you know, you could say this pretty much about any game. However, bowling to me has always been about everything but bowling, right? Like when you're out,
people go
you're just out with your friends.
Drinking, maybe eating some the garbage bowling alley food, like bad pizzas from bowling alleys. Love it.
Yeah,
it's so greasy. You got to like dab it with a napkin before you eat it a little bit. Oh, so good, so good.
And it's kind of like you know how people say at a race car event, people just go to see the accidents. It's almost like that at a bowling alley. Like you're just hoping somebody falls so you can laugh.
I fall way more than I should for knowing what I'm doing. And I'll still get like strikes. Like I throw a very nice big curve. I'm one of those like old school like bowlers. Like if you ever watch professional bowlers, I bowl like that. I throw the nice big long curve, but I'm still so lanky and like I'll get my coordination and then I'll fall over after. So I'll still throw it right, especially if I haven't gone in a while.
But you know what, Grant? Speaking of that, like old school, right? Because I do remember like Earl Anthony, right? Wasn't he the big bowler? Like they used to sometimes have that on what was it like ABC's Wide World of Sports, or whatever.
They still have it on like ESPN stuff every once in a while.
But it's changed because back then it was kind of like, you know, you could hear a pin drop, quiet, silent. Now I've seen it, and these people are yelling and screaming. The fans are like loud, right? It's changed.
I think in between. Not during. When somebody's on that approach, even on the professional stuff like on ESPN that I've watched, as soon as somebody gets on that approach and they're holding the ball, everybody goes quiet, and then the second they throw it, once it's out of the guy's hand, then they're cheering. So yeah. That's probably the difference.
Okay.
The cheering happens as soon as they release that ball. Everybody's like, yeah! Oh, and then they left a pin. And they're like, oh. I love when everybody in the whole audience just has that sigh of like, oh.
Oh, yeah, like
all at the same time. Yeah, so a single 10 pins left. And they were like, yeah! Oh.
What is this? Rob is saying, hey, Rob, how you doing? Rob is...
SEAL Team Flicks?
Gathering, yep.
Not another one I'm
Never heard of it.
I was looking through the BGG dexterity game list just to get some ideas for this, and there were so many. I was just like, wow. I always like forget because again, like we have when we say we have a lot of games at Meepleville, it's a drop in the bucket. There's so many games out there.
Oh, no kidding. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding.
Like one of the dexterity one that actually the first board game that I bought from Meepleville when I first worked there was Fun Farm by Yellow. We had a lot of copy of those at the time when it first came out, and we sold out of it. That was a fun dexterity game.
Yeah, I still appreciate Fun Farm. That's a little bit more of the quick reaction. Same with like the Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza, like the slapping in. I'm getting old. My reaction time is just not there anymore. So like that side of the dexterity, I'm just not as good at.
Right. And Mike said we could have a small one. We do have a little tiny one we have back in the office because now that I thought about that, you know what's sitting right next to the one in the office we should have put on here, Grant, the list?
Huh.
Is, I can't think of it. What's the name where you throw the dice?
The dice one.
Yes.
I've never played it. I saw Tom's video forever ago, and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And then I've never had a chance to actually play it.
Come on, somebody out there, tell me what the name is. No, you take the dice, and it's got the levels with the points. And like if your dice gets on like the 10 level with a 6, you get 60 points or something like that. Anyway, I can't. It's gonna bother me.
I don't know it.
Tumbling dice? Is that it?
Tumbling dice. There we go.
Woo! I did it.
Yes, tumbling dice.
I'm a person that knows board games.
Yeah.
And how to use Google.
Yep. So Rob says it's like it's a SEAL Team co-op where you movement and gunshots or flicks, kind of like
Flick 'em up.
Flick 'em up.
Yeah,
And Flick 'em up has a couple of different versions. I know there's like a Dead of Winter version out now.
it does. Yeah,
But
Lupin Chewy, Lupin Louie. Paul says, yeah.
for the young kids, Lupin Chewy gets requested all the time, and anytime somebody comes in with like those younger kids, it gets played a ton.
Yes, it does. The thing about it, the unfortunate thing about Lupin Chewy with kids is they don't quite understand the finesse, right?
They just want to whap the thing and
Yeah, they
see
do.
it spin around.
But what happens if you hit it too hard? Your
Wrong.
own little chips fall.
That's how Chung would play it. Just like
No. No. I mean, a lot of people don't want to play Fun Farm with me anymore because I purposely grow my nails long for it.
oh, that's just mean. That's just mean.
That is mean. That is mean. Yeah. So, what are some of your other favorite dexterity games out there? People like. I'm trying to think of some other ones we have that get played a lot at Meepleville. What's the one with the one we got the ping pong balls? People take out quite a bit, right? Like Bounce It or something with a little grid, and you got to get the ping pong ball.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of that one. We had that spinball game.
I know
People
what
like
you're talking about, though.
people like that spinball game.
Spinball, of
Yes.
course.
That spinball is really good.
Oh yeah, Spinball. That's right. I forgot about that one.
Somebody else had mentioned Tokyo Highway. Have you had a chance to play that one yet, Tim?
Yeah, that's kind of like Men at Work.
Yes.
That's the
And
bridges.
Men at Work, I haven't had a chance to play either. I know that was a new one.
Uh-huh.
I actually own Tokyo Highway. I love that game. Jeff specifically loved playing it since he's loved building highways on the city simulators, and he always wins.
I had some issues with the scoring in that one. Was a little wonky. Like the dexterity side of it was fun, and getting to see the cool little city that you built up, but like how the scoring worked was always a little annoying for me.
Right. Throw burrito. Has any of you guys tried that one?
I've seen it. I haven't got to play it. We had a member bring it in one time because I don't think we have it at Meepleville. It's by the guys that did Exploding Kittens, I think.
One of those companies, yeah. And Via Paletti, like Paul said, that's another. We have a big Via Paletti actually. That's another one that's been sitting in the back forever.
Never heard of it. What's that one? Is that in the
That's
office?
where you have certain levels, right? And then you've got these round like timbers. So say you have like 4 levels, I think it is. I forgot exactly how it plays. But when you have this hook and you have to like take out a timber without tipping the whole thing, I think that was kind of like the basic idea. But we have a big one. Oh, that's another one. Thanks, Paul. We haven't.
That sounds like Click Clack Lumberjacks. I've seen people play that before.
Click Clack Lumberjack. Yeah, there's another one. Mega City Oceana.
I've seen people play that one. Haven't played that myself. That's relatively new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brooke likes throw burrito. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Never played that one.
Dexterity games are just one of those like different version of board games that not a lot of people know exist, kind of things. Like again, when you think of a board game, you think about moving little pieces around, and not too many people that aren't in the hobby know about that dexterity side of what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah, that is very true. But again, it's the kind of game where you can be at any state of mind. Like I said, if you're a little tipsy with a couple of wine, whatever, or you're tired, you don't have to. It's not a lot of brain power, right? You just do something.
For sure, you're gonna lose, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna have fun. That's what's important.
But you are going to have fun.
I did not know that Paul was a big dexterity guy.
Me neither.
Really, Grant? Paul is a big any game guy. He's got Paul has got a serious problem. I hope you know, or if you don't know, just like
I knew he played a lot of games. I don't think I've ever seen him play a dexterity game at Meepleville. He plays everything else, all like huge into card games. That's what I'm saying. I don't know
everything.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
You know what? We should have a 12-step program at Meepleville.
Stop.
Jenga? Jenga.
Yeah, Jenga's classic.
Classic.
Rob mentioned that Tower of Madness, which is a board game version of Kerplunk. I mean, you're pulling the little sticks out, but is that really dexterity? Is that just purely luck based? If a marble falls, based on how you pull a thing out?
Yeah.
Well,
Is it the one with the green tentacle coming out of that
correct.
tower?
Yep.
Okay, I seen that, but I never played it.
'Cause, yeah, I think it's blind. Like you don't even get to see where the marbles are at. So I think it's a little more
luck based.
a little too much of the luck based for me. Ooh, flip ships. Flip ships almost made my thing. That one was really fun.
Oh yeah.
Where you can actually.
Oh,
Wonky.
wonky.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there was a ton.
Oh, when we first opened, that was my go-to. Oh yes, I remember that so well. Yeah, Wonky's fantastic.
Why is it so hard to get a hold of?
You know what happens with a lot of these games? You know, it's weird with the game industry because they'll publish a game and they'll kind of forget about it, move on. Somebody else buys the rights, they sit on it. Who knows? But yeah, I haven't seen Wonky in a long time.
Yeah, you got to figure they only make so many, and then once a board game's X number of years old, they're not going to print another 1,000 or something,
That's true.
True.
depending on how
But
popular
the
something
reason
is.
I loved Wonky so much, especially teaching people, because I would tell them, I say, hey, listen, this is what you have to do. The rules are on the cards, right? Because remember, the cards tell you what to do.
Hmm.
Stack a small purple block. Like, so, oh, yeah, that was
That
fantastic.
was the one you taught me and Emily when we first came into Meepleville. I remember you taught us to that one. I was
Wasn't
like,
it? Yeah.
yeah, Wonky.
I'm
That's
sure,
one.
like, yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
one
that
of the
was.
goats.
You finally pulled us out of playing Splendor every single time we visit there.
That's true, because that is all you did play. Is
Yeah.
Splendor, yeah.
Let's see.
But all right, I think that's all we had planned. Tim, do you want to do a kind of quicker recap of what we talked about earlier with Meepleville for anybody that did join us late, just to go back over that really fast?
Absolutely, I will. And I'll just make it quick, guys, because we're going to go ahead and make sure we have all this information posted. So, starting tomorrow, our new schedule at Meepleville will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday will be noon to 6. However, we are now allowing people to come into Meepleville to buy the retail. However, you must wear a mask whenever you're up and around in Meepleville. When you come in, you'll also have to sanitize your hand. We have some sanitizers there. And if you'd like to look at games, we'll have some of those food prep gloves for you to put on so you can go ahead and pick up games and touch all those. So we got that covered for you. And starting next Wednesday, May 27th, Meepleville will be open from 4 to midnight. We are taking reservations at sales@meepleville.com. It will be $10 per person. You must come together as a group to play, must wear a mask when you come in. When you get to your table, you can take it off. And that's it. Have some food, sit down because we are a restaurant, eat food. And while you're there eating food, you can also play some games. So that's the plan moving forward because we are slowly opening up to fullness. And on Saturday, I think it is, Sisolak, the governor, or Friday, will be announcing plans because I think the casinos and all that kind of stuff for the federal or the state level, I should say, are
Hmm.
moving further. But those people, those plans, and again, we will have them all available for you to see.
Great. Trung, thank you so much for joining us. I know everybody will get to see you next Wednesday as well. Haven't had a chance to hang out with you in person in a while, so looking forward to that.
Same. Thank you for having me, guys. I look forward to seeing a couple of our regulars on Wednesday. We
Yes,
yeah.
we do. We really hope that everybody will be able to come if they can. It'll be good just to have the place with people in it, kind of to get that energy and just feeling going again. But again, remember, if you have any signs, if you think you're even sick, please do not come out. And anyway, yeah, it'd be good to have you back.
Really quick, Chris had a question. Do you have to buy games? Of course not. When the retail store's open, it'll be the standard. You can just browse the retail store. You don't have to buy anything. Again, we're just going to limit 2 people in there at a time or 2 groups in there at a time during the retail days. So yeah, feel free to come check out some of our new games, all the new puzzles in person. Just be safe and all that.
Yes, it was great seeing you.
Alrighty.
All right, thanks guys.
Good night.
Talk to you later.
Good night.